everybody. It's Jen Morgan, the Soul-Filled Yogi. I'm just getting myself nice and set up here, and I want to make sure that I get... So I use my computer, and I use my my phone. I use my phone to do the recording, and then I use my computer to check the comments, because I know that... oh, hi, Michelle! Hi! Sometimes the phone has a little bit of a delay or a lag, so I like to keep the computer open so that I can see you guys as you comment, and so I keep it open at the same time, which is sometimes kind of weird because it's like watching yourself, but but anyways, okay, so I see, wow, 12 people, 17 people, wow, you guys must have been waiting for me. Okay, so we're going to get right into things, but if you did not catch me on my last Facebook Live here on Healing Crystals, I'm Jen. I am also known as the Soul-Filled Yogi. Hi, Renee. I am a yoga teacher, a experienced registered yoga teacher of 500 hours, a Yoga Alliance certified education provider. So I'm a lot of things in the yoga realm, and then outside of the yoga realm, I am a certified crystal healer, master healer, Reiki healer. Hi, girl. Hi, Allie. What else am I? Really, if it has to do with healing and light working, I probably do some form or fashion. I am an IET practitioner. I'm a life coach. So yeah, I do a lot of things because I really love to be of service. So it's kind of led me down some really, really great paths. And I also run a accredited crystal arts healing school. So if you are ever thinking about taking any types of classes in healing and want to learn more about crystals, then definitely check me out on my website, which is soulfilledyogi.com. Lots of cool stuff going on in my realm. A course that I'm going to be launching very soon in the yoga world. So it's going to be a yoga instructor certification, and it's called Crystal Yoga. So it's about crystals and yoga and bringing them together, and that's why I'm here for you guys tonight, is to talk about that lovely marriage of yoga and crystals. And, you know, beautiful things happen when those two things come together. So the reason that I created this course and why I'm here talking to you guys about these topics is because, you know, yoga was my first touch point with something that was spiritual. And initially I got into yoga and started yoga because I was wanting to lose weight. Really was, like, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. I was wanting to lose weight, and so I thought to myself, okay, I want to try something new. I want to do something. And I was coming from the modeling world where body image, you know, kind of issues are a big thing, and I definitely was suffering with a lot of you know, body image issues in that area. And so my initial wanting to go to yoga was I moved home. I was done modeling. I couldn't take the pressure of it anymore, and I was like, I felt like I was gaining weight and I didn't know what to do. And so all of a sudden I just found this yoga studio, and I was like, I'm going to join. And I don't really, you know, the spiritual realm wasn't what was the draw for me. It was really about the fitness. So I joined a yoga studio, and I started doing yoga every single day, and I was, you know, preparing to get married. So there was another incentive for me to lose weight. So my life was really very much about that at that point. And so I went to a yoga studio, and I started taking classes every day, and I started to realize that the more that I was taking yoga, the less I was focusing on what I was looking at in the mirror. It was like this huge shift for me where, you know, I wasn't looking in the mirror anymore. I wasn't really judging myself anymore, and I didn't have to try for that stuff to happen. It just kind of started naturally happening. I'm like, I was more focused about, like, hey, can I do this yoga pose, or how do I feel when I'm in this yoga pose, or how do I feel when I'm in this practice? And the studio that I was at, you know, there was no mirrors, there was none of that, and I wasn't looking at myself the same way. And all of a sudden I started to feel like I was appreciating what my body was allowing me to do, to stay in a yoga pose, to be in a yoga pose, to breathe, to do all these things instead of looking at my body and saying, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. All of a sudden it was, wow, this thing that allows me to move around is really something that I should be appreciating a lot more. So yoga definitely is something that is very ingrained in my heart, because it completely changed my life. It completely changed my way of life. It completely changed my way of thinking. It allowed me to step out of the reality that I was living in and teach me that there's so much more. And the stuff that's so much more is the stuff that's inside of us. And through yoga, I was able to really like uncover that stuff and bring it out into the world and do all these things that I'm doing now. So I'm really, really happy to be here talking to you guys about yoga, because it was my first big shift in my life, and brought me down this path of spirituality and all of this stuff. Hi, Erica. That, you know, that's brought me into this, I don't know, so many different healing arts and so many different great experiences. So anyways, that is my story with yoga. And if you guys saw me on the other live, you heard my story about how crystals came into my life actually long before yoga, when I was a very, very, very young child, probably around the age of 5 or so. I began collecting rocks and crystals. So it's kind of funny how the whole thing just kind of came together, and it's really coming together beautifully through my course that I'm creating. So anyways, those are my little stories, and that's why I'm here with you guys tonight. But I want to start, hi Amanda, I want to start by talking to you guys about yoga in a very simplistic way, because I find that one, I know that a lot of you guys here are beginners with yoga or have no exposure to it, because I did ask about this on my last live, and there was probably maybe of almost 100 people or so on, about 8 or so people that have said, you know, they're yogis or they do yoga. So I can already sense the type of people that are going to be on this live, and so you might be at that place where you're thinking, yoga? I don't really know if that's for me, right? And so if that is you right now, I understand. Okay, I was in the same boat. I was like, yoga, I'm going to try it, but I'm not really sure if it's for me, okay? And I'm going to tell you what somebody told me. If you can breathe, you can do yoga, okay? So therefore, since we are all alive and we are all living and we can all breathe, we can do yoga, okay? We can all do yoga. Yoga is a practice of mindfulness, and it's less about the physicality and more about the point that you reach through the practice or the process than it is about getting into a pose, right? People think to themselves, I'm not flexible, or I can't touch my toes, and this is stuff I hear as a teacher all day long. I can't touch my toes, I'm not flexible, you know, I don't know how to move, I don't know how to do the yoga poses, all sorts of things. And I'll first start by saying, this is fear's way of getting you not to open up, okay? Fear has a really nice little tricky way of pulling you out of doing the things that you know you should do that are going to break you out of your comfort zone. And so if you think yoga is something that's intimidating to you, that's more reason that you should do it, that you should try it. Because fear is trying to like take a little stronghold and say, no, actually I don't want you to do this because it's going to have you open up, and I'd rather you stay really, really small instead of get really, really big in your life and really let the true you shine, right? My fear was, I'm going to go into this to lose weight, right? That was my fear. I don't really like what things are looking like, so I'm gonna do this only for this specific reason. And then the longer I started to go and the more I started to go, that fear started to let its little grip unravel, and then the spirituality opened up to me, right? So if fear is telling you, I can't touch my toes, I can't hold a yoga pose, you know, any of this kind of stuff, let that go, because there is a type of yoga for you. Yes, Mary, absolutely. So Mary just mentioned there's chair yoga. There is a yoga form for every single ability level, for every single person of every age, for any type of injuries, any type of weight, any type of, you know, even being able to breathe. If you have trouble breathing, you still can even find a form of yoga in which you can do that, okay? So I want to start by saying you are going to find a yoga that is for you, okay? And I want to teach you about different forms so that when you go in to practice yoga wherever you happen to go, even if it's at home and you're looking for something on YouTube, that you end up finding something that's not going to turn you off to the yoga practice, okay? I am a vinyasa yoga teacher. It tends to be one of the more difficult seeming types of yoga. And sometimes people come into that type of a class and they don't know what to expect. And then it turns them off to yoga, okay? Not saying that you shouldn't try something that intimidates you or something that's going to pull you outside of your box. But already if you're feeling hesitant to go to a yoga practice, throwing you into something that's completely out of your element would be a little, a little rocking, right? So I'm going to talk about a few different types of yoga to get you thinking about what might be a good fit for you, for your activity level, for your, experience level, for, whatever is going on in your life. And then we're going to talk about how to bring crystals and how to bring oils and all that kind of stuff into it, okay? And bringing oils and crystals can come into any type of yoga practice too, okay? So first let's talk about a few different types of yoga. So I'm going to start and I'm going to go from more relaxation type yoga up until more rigorous types of yoga, okay? So that we're going to kind of go on a scale. So if you're already thinking, I want to go to yoga to relax, I don't want to be moving a lot, I would rather be breathing or being mindful or even meditating, the beginning ones are going to be more of a fit for you. If you're somebody that is like, my mind runs all over the place, I cannot focus, I need something that is going to be extremely physical for me to really be able to shut my brain down, you're going to be more at the, latter part of the conversation, okay? So if you are somebody that practices yoga already, what I want you to do is write in the comments, let me know what type of yoga that you practice, because maybe it's not even one that I'll mention, and it'll kind of remind, there's hundreds of types of yoga. Maybe it'll remind me to, mention that type. And also let me know where you are coming from. So I see a lot of people on here. Let me know where you're that's a perfect one. So I just got a comment. It wasn't one that I was going to mention, so thank you for saying that. So let me know where you guys are from and if you practice a certain type of yoga. And I'm going to start talking about those types of yoga, okay? So the first type, Nashville. Oh my gosh, so funny. So I was just talking about going to Nashville. So I'm a foodie and we like to go on trips where we can experience food. So I'm thinking Nashville's a place to go. Yeah, Ashtanga. Yeah, it's definitely a more rigorous, a lot of steps to it. So, okay, so first type of yoga that we are going to talk about is restorative yoga, okay? And I wish I had my book. I left it upstairs. I have so many books down here and I have so many books upstairs. And there's 44 people on. What a good number. So restorative yoga, in a restorative yoga practice, you are most likely going to be in 4 to 5 poses the whole practice, and all of these poses are going to be, hi Kelly, are going to be your body weight resting into props. You are not going to be holding your body up at all. Your body is in this going to be designed to completely rest, to completely let go. So you might have blocks, you might have bolsters, you might have sandbags, you might have straps, you might have, and it is, guys, it is amazing. I love restorative yoga. If you want to talk about restorative yoga, send me a message. We can talk about it all day long. I love it. It's like probably one of my very favorite parts of yoga or types of yoga. So in restorative yoga, you are going to be completely relaxing. It is designed so that your body shuts down and that your mind can even shut down and you are in a meditative type yoga practice. You are in technically a yoga pose, but your body is not doing any work, and you may be in a pose for more than 20 minutes, most likely 4 to 5 poses max in a class, okay? It is, if you have never tried a restorative yoga class, please go try it. It is the best. And the school that this comes from is, there's a teacher, Judith Lassiter, and she has a system called Relax and Renew or Restore, and it's restorative yoga. Okay, so if people teach in her method, or if they teach restorative yoga, they've probably learned it from books of hers or trainings of hers or something in that realm. Okay, this is going to be a great practice for people who are very worried about their physical activity level, because you're not working. You're not working. It is letting go and, you know, relaxing and just completely like letting go of, I mean, you're not even, there's nothing happening in your mind towards the end of it. Although I find when I take a class, my mind will go in some sort of like really weird places, and then all of a sudden I'll just check out, and it's like, you're not sleeping, right? You're like in this beautiful state of like, you're not thinking, you're not sleeping, but you're somewhere in between, okay? So it's really, really great. Super amazing for beginners. If you're afraid to go into a studio, go into a restorative class. You will absolutely love it, okay? The next one I want to talk about, and if your yoga studio happens to do multiple levels of yoga, where you're going to want to maybe start is what is called like a foundation class or a beginner's class, okay? And or a restorative class, okay? So, the next type of yoga I want to talk about is Iyengar, okay? Iyengar yoga, and all these different schools of yoga come from different yogis that have been, you know, it's been passed down, but all of these yogis who have started these different types of yoga have either learned from like what are like known as like the founding fathers of yoga, or somebody who trained directly under one of those founding fathers in India. So just so you know, a little bit of yoga background. So BKS Iyengar, he is the founder of Iyengar, okay? Iyengar yoga is using a lot of props, but you will be in yoga poses that will be held for a given amount of time. So it depends on the teacher, okay? Also really, really good for beginners. Most likely, if you have an Iyengar studio, they will have a beginner basic class too, okay? Using a lot of props. So using blocks, using bolsters, using straps, all that kind of stuff with the focus of alignment. So if you are somebody who has an injury, this is going to be a really good type of yoga for you. You're going to go in, you're going to say, okay, Sally, Susie, whoever your instructor is, I have this injury. Okay, yeah, BKS Iyengar, really great. His book, yeah, absolutely. So you're going to say, I have this injury, and they're going to say, okay, this is what, you know, you should do, you shouldn't do, or they're going to come around in a class and adjust you so that you're very mindful of that injury. Iyengar is like highly, highly focused on alignment of the body and proper alignment, okay? Hatha yoga is the next one. Hatha, the word hatha tends to be kind of a catch-all for like, oh, I see healing crystals. They just commented. I wonder who's commenting under that. Let me know. So hatha yoga is kind of, the term tends to be kind of a catch-all, and some people who teach like a hodgepodge of yoga will call it hatha yoga. But the actual form of hatha yoga is a type of yoga where the poses are held generally for a really long amount of time to build strength in your body, okay? The focus is, there is alignment focus, and sometimes props are used, but a lot of times it really depends on the yoga teacher. So if you happen to go to a hatha class, you can expect to be in a pose for a while that's going to build a lot of strength, okay? So if you're looking for strength, if you're looking for, you know, that, you know, just building overall, you know, muscle tone, a hatha class, oh, Sean, okay, hi, then that's going to be a really, really good class for you. I have a friend, Joanna, she's a hatha yoga teacher, and she does a class that's called Hatha Yoga for the Core. That's some serious stuff, okay? So it tends to be a catch-all, so I can't really say exactly what you're going to get in a hatha yoga class. Really, if you trace it back to like India, like you'll hear just hatha. It's just any type of yoga, like it's kind of a catch-all. But you can expect to be in poses for a while to build strength, okay? So we kind of went to the like light scale, and we're starting to move up. Now, one that's one step up of restorative that I do want to mention is called yin yoga, okay? Yin yoga is another type of restorative yoga where poses are held for a long time, but less props. So, imagine instead of being propped where your body is able to relax, that you're in a held pose that is still a restorative pose, maybe less props for a given amount of time. So I have a teacher, there's a teacher by the name of Brian Kest, and he teaches a class where is a vinyasa class, but also a yin class. And there was a pose that he did with us. There was probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 poses in this other part of his practice, the yin practice. And that's a whole lineage of itself coming out of California. So I was in a wide-legged straddle, like seated, for about 20 minutes. And it was very intense. I was not really, like, my legs were like jello after, but your body opens up in a very different way. And depending on your yoga teacher, it can be more restorative or more intense depending on the props they use or not. It's kind of a personal preference, but yin yoga is absolutely an amazing practice. One of my favorite poses is just laying on your back. It's called banana body, which is basically like you would lean, over to the right and your legs go over to the right, or over to the left and your legs go over to the left. It's just a side body stretch, and it is lovely. Okay? So we're going to go back up, and we're going to do Kundalini next. So Kundalini yoga is a highly spiritual form of yoga. It is probably the one where you're going to connect to, really the higher levels, because it's a lot about chanting and meditation, and there are all sorts of other practices that kind of come into this type of yoga. But you might be seated, and you might be in a, like a chant with there's a lot of different mudras, which are hand positions. So if you are somebody who maybe has like a knee injury or like a leg type of thing going on, Kundalini might be good for you. You can, prop however you're going to sit, and you're going to be doing a lot of things with your hands, right? So say you're in a mudra like this. I'm giving you guys a rundown of every type of yoga. But your arms might be out like this, and you might be chanting for 20 minutes. So you could imagine after a while, your arms are going to get really tired. So you kind of build there's this resistance that's going to happen with that type of yoga that you have to get over in order to get to that highly spiritual level. It is life-changing. Gabby Bernstein is a practitioner of Kundalini yoga, and I've been to a bunch of her retreats, and it is really great. Okay? So now, working up on the rigorous scale. Next up is Vinyasa and Ashtanga. I would kind of put them right at the same rung, okay? So I teach Power Vinyasa Yoga, which is in a heated room, okay? It can be practiced in not a heated room, but in my case, I practice in a heated room, which is about 90 or 95 degrees, okay? So it's a hot yoga. It's a fast-paced yoga. It's a more athletic type of yoga. You're going to be, really working up a sweat, and you're going to be, really kind of like, it's not a lot of time to sit in a pose usually. It's kind of a more quick paced and focused on your breath to weave together the practice, okay? The vinyasa is flow. That word means flow. Well, it translates to a few other things, but we won't get too much into that. But the breath, the flow, is the breath holding the practice together and the pace together, okay? Ashtanga yoga is another really rigorous, and honestly, sometimes I kind of put this almost at a peg up of vinyasa, because it's working through a system of poses or series of poses, and then almost like when you graduate from that, you get into the next series. And if you guys know of Kino McGregor, you've probably seen her on on Instagram. Some of the poses that, are in these series are very advanced poses and freaking cool. Can I do a lot of them? No. Do I wish to someday? Maybe. But it's definitely something to aspire to, It's very impressive. Yeah, Kino she's really like just a yoga superstar. I can't even. I look at her Instagram and I'm just like, oh, that goes there? And then up from that is Bikram yoga. So the reason I'm putting Bikram yoga above that is because the room is heated to 105 degrees. There are 27 yoga poses in the sequence. You will practice the same sequence every single time, no matter where you go. So if you are a creature of habit, go to a Bikram yoga class because you will love it. Same poses every single time you go, no matter who is teaching, no matter what's going on. 105 degrees, you can always expect it. Hi, Julie. You can always expect 105 degrees in the same 27 poses, and it's great. And Bikram Chaudhry is the founder of that. Okay? So those are the different forms of yoga. So now, somebody did mention chair yoga. Chair yoga is also amazing. It's probably more on the restorative end. Great for people with injury, great for people with back pain, and that type of thing. If you can find a chair yoga in your area, absolutely take it. And even if you're somebody who doesn't have an injury, take one. We have somebody that was in my last yoga teacher training that specializes in it, and she teaches it at like YMCAs and to Silver Sneakers and stuff like that. So definitely give that a shot. Okay, let me just read through the comments here. Yeah, Iyengar, you did Iyengar when you were still pregnant. Yeah, yep, and then restorative poses. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, and yoga during pregnancy is great. I practiced pretty much up until my due date. And all the things, you know, if you have been doing a yoga practice while you were pregnant or before you were pregnant, absolutely. If you are somebody who's just starting it when you're pregnant, go to a prenatal class. If you are somebody who is pregnant and wants to continue practicing yoga at your normal studio, few things you should know going in: no deep twisting, okay? Like after your first trimester, no deep twisting. After your first trimester, no like core exercises if you're in the more rigorous stuff. When you are probably in your second no more laying flat on your back for a long duration of time. Use props to prop yourself up. And also lay on your left side instead of your right side at the end of the yoga class. Okay, so that's just, if you're pregnant, that's like your quick rundown, things to, you know, be aware of going into that. Yeah, and prenatal yoga, guys, is great. Especially if you have somebody in your area that does it, absolutely give it a shot. So I think I touched on everybody's different types of yoga. If there's any type of yoga that I missed, let me know. Yeah, I was doing yoga like literally up until the day I was due, and you know, it's really great to be able to do that. It's not the case for everybody, obviously, but if you can, it really does help with a lot of things. Okay, so those are types of yoga. So start to think about what is a good match for you. Now here comes the fun part, right? This is like, it's kind of like being a little bit of a mad scientist. I like bringing crystals into yoga because I have to, use my imagination a little bit and set an intention. So if you're somebody who practices yoga currently, or you're thinking about practice, somebody asked me, did it help when it came to labor? Well, I would lie to you and say yes, but my body just didn't want any part in labor, so I can't really give you a good, give you a good answer. I think, like, my body was just not wanting to even do the whole labor thing, so I had a fun time, but, that's just, like, my personal crazy story. Everybody's body is completely different. Yeah, meditating was probably the most important thing when I was pregnant. So, okay, so back to bringing in crystals. So bringing in crystals into a yoga practice brings us into intention setting, okay? So intention setting is setting a idea or a theme for what you're looking for out of a yoga practice. So you can easily identify this now, right? Why am I on this live? What would yoga bring to my life? What am I looking for it to bring to my life? Regardless of what type of yoga that you kind of felt like you resonated with that I talked about, what are you looking for yoga to bring to your life? Are you looking for yoga to bring you more fitness? Are you looking for yoga to bring you more spiritual connection? Are you looking for yoga to bring you more calm? Are you looking for yoga to bring you more clearing in your life? So setting an intention, okay? When we set an intention and get really clear about why we're doing what we're doing or what the desired outcome is, then we can bring extra layers on top of it, right? So if my desired outcome is to relax, would I go to a vinyasa yoga class? I could, but would it be the best fit for my outcome? Probably not, right? So, restorative yoga, it would be a better fit, okay? So now, if my desired outcome is to relax and like let go, and I got just a lot going on in my life, and I just want to relax and just melt into some props and totally, not think about anything, that is the intention I go into choosing a crystal for my practice to bring. You can bring it to the yoga studio. You can take this into, home practice. And I put it by me on my mat, right? Either at the front of my mat or to the side of my mat, depending on, what the kind of studio setup is. Or apply it somewhere on me that feels like the most intuitive for me. Now, putting it on you, if you're in a more rigorous type of yoga, probably not going to work, right? Unless, I suggest this always, if you are a girl and you have a bra, you can put a tumble in there, okay? And it'll stay with you. Like yesterday, I took a vinyasa class, and I put a tumble in there, and I just move with it, okay? So, if you're having an intention of wanting to relax, you're going to want to bring that type of crystal into your yoga practice, studio, or home with you and put it on your mat or put it nearby your mat, okay? So I'm going to go through a few different intentions, and then we're going to talk about which crystals go with those intentions, and I thought, why not talk about essential oils too? So we're going to talk about crystals and essential oil pairings for your intention of a yoga class, okay? So start to think about even now, like if you have a piece of paper, write it down or comment. Oh, Allie, thank you. So comment and let me know if you were going to a yoga class right now, with no fear of going into the yoga studio or any of that kind of stuff, with no, thoughts about, no judgments, no prejudgments about anything. What would be your intention? Why would you be going? What would you be going for? Okay, so just comment. Oh, from Singapore. How cool. Wow. Singapore. So let me know, Serene from Singapore, let me know if you were going to a yoga class, what would be your intention for your class, for yourself? What are you looking for by going? What are you hoping to accomplish? What are you hoping to add to your life? Are you looking for more calm? Are you looking for more balance? Are you looking for more energy? What are you looking for? Me time. Julie says me time. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with Julie's. So, Julie's looking for me time. So, me time would be time for not kids, not to think about work, right? Let go of everything. But also could translate to self-love, right? Giving herself that self-love that she might not get on a daily basis because, quite frankly, Julie is probably moving too quick to be able to do that, right? Like most of us, if you have a business, if you don't have a business, if you go to work, if you have kids, you most likely are moving pretty quickly throughout your day and you need a little bit more self-love. You got to fill your cup, right? Got to fill your cup so that you are able to give to everybody else around you. That is exactly why I went to yoga practice the other day. Because I was like, you know what? I just need me time and I got to just do this for me, right? So carving out time, okay? So the intention is self-love and me time. So the crystal that Julie is going to bring is going to be rose quartz. Now this is a nice little point that I got, rose quartz. A lot of people think of this as a relationship crystal, but your greatest relationship that you're ever going to have in your whole entire life is your relationship with you. Take care of you. You can't take care of anybody else until you take care of you, okay? So you're going to bring this to your practice, and I like to bring points or generators, as we call these, into a practice because what it's going to do is it's going to resonate that vibration equally into all of the space around you. It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for everybody else around you. Setting that intention too, always, if you're bringing this into a studio practice, that this is used for the higher good. So put this on your mat, like the top of your mat. Especially if you want to use it as a focal point. So in yoga we call focal point drishti. Your eye gaze, your focus, but also your mental focus. So it's kind of a bit of like a double meaning, right? Your actual focus, but your mental focus as well. So you can focus on the point and put this right on the front of your mat, okay? Now, Matching an oil up with this, the best oil pairing with the rose quartz for self-love, setting that intention of a practice. Maybe, you know, that practice is something that's more rigorous, or maybe it's something that's less rigorous. That's going to be more depending on what you feel like you need intuitively, is going to be geranium, okay? So this is a heart chakra oil, absolutely, but also very high vibration, extremely high vibration. So you're kind of setting that intention out into the universe that you are looking to expand, you're looking to receive, you're looking to have some more self-love. Let me just read this comment. Can it be a rolled quartz? I'm not sure what that, can you, rolled quartz? Maybe that was a misspelling. So this is going to be your self-love. Yeah, rose quartz. Yep. And geranium. Absolutely. And geranium is like a super high frequency oil. This could also be a double duty if you happen to order geranium and you say you want like self-love practice. This can also serve as like a highly spiritual, like say you went to a Kundalini practice, this would also be double duty for that because it's so high frequency. It's like 90 megahertz or something like that, rose and geranium, like 90 megahertz, so that's really super high, okay? Some of like the highest, okay? So the next one that we're going to talk about, does anybody else have a intention? Relaxing. Let's do relaxing. Okay, so this one's for Cece. So relaxing. So if you are going into a yoga practice and you are wanting to relax, restorative. Absolutely go to restorative practice. Go to a meditative practice. Go to a yin practice, okay? So if you are setting the intention that you want to relax, you're going to want oils that have a frequency not like this. This is super, super high. That's a high, high frequency. But something that's like a little bit more baseline, right? So something that's a little bit more slow us down, take us down, you know, like to that kind of sleep level. You're going to want some amethyst for that. I thought I'd bring on a different one this time than I did last time because I thought you guys might want to see a different one of my crystals. I don't know. So amethyst, and then there's some other amethyst here. Here's a little point. You might have something that looks like that. This is from my little Zen garden that I keep on my desk. Okay. So this is going to be your amethyst. It's a third eye opening crystal, so you're going to be able to relax, but you're also still going to start to open up to the spiritual, you know, higher spiritual realms, which is kind of a nice thing. But the vibration is really baseline, okay? Really baseline. So just to be able to, like, let go. Let go. It's like that feeling of like taking a deep breath and just being like, okay, I'm good now, right? Now the best oil to match with this, and I'm going to give you two because I've been obsessed with this other oil and I got to talk about it because I'm obsessed. Lavender and amethyst. Perfect marriage. Absolutely perfect marriage with a restorative practice. And lavender is an overall great oil, especially if you plan on using two oils during a practice. It's a great one for the end of the practice because it takes your energy down and the vibration down to a more baseline, okay? Now, second oil, coriander. This stuff. I'm so addicted. I got this in like a week ago or two, and I know it seems like a really random one, but it is like, I want to slather it on my body. All over. It's so good. It's like literally the best thing I've ever smelled in my life, and that's probably because I need it. But I just love it. Now what you can do is mix these two together, and these are a very happy marriage too. Absolutely super happy. It's what I keep in here in the spray bottle, and I take this to yoga practice. This is a really easy way, guys, to distribute your essential oils during a yoga practice, is to get a glass bottle, put some distilled water in it, put like, you know, 7 to 10 drops of each oil, coriander and lavender in it, and spray it around your mat and spray it on you during a practice, okay? Really, really easy way to do. Otherwise, put it on your feet just to stay on the safe side because I don't want you guys getting any of these really near your eyes, and I don't want to go through every single point of where I want you guys to put each one. So, feet, okay? So that's for your absolutely just relaxing practice. What else do we got on here? So that one was for Cece. Let's scroll, scroll, scroll. The intention of creating a good work environment. Oh, yes. Oh, and a good work environment. Okay, so I'm just going to suggest a specific thing for you, Pyrite is like always my work crystal. And fluorite would be a good combination for you because it's going to clear any of the energy that other people are going to bring into your work environment. I know this is a little off for yoga, but you could absolutely think about this during a yoga practice, or get a corporate yoga program started at your work. It's a great thing, absolutely, or suggest it. So fluorite and pyrite would be the combination for you, and I would say probably balance would be the best oil. Spiritual connection, yay, Mary. Okay, Mary, you always are on the same wavelength as me. You always know exactly what I'm like searching for, because that was the next one I was going to do anyway. So yay, Mary. Mary, you're awesome, by the way. Okay, so Mary says spiritual connection. Okay, so a Kundalini yoga practice is absolutely going to get you there. It's a great practice. But also, you can do this in a more meditative type of yoga practice. You could bring really any type of spiritual connection into any yoga practice as an intention, but I really think Kundalini kind of holds a special place in my heart for this, because it was my first experience that was probably, you know, it was a turning point in my life, was going to a Kundalini practice, and I met my spirit guides and all sorts of awesome, amazing stuff. So, special place in my heart for the spiritual stuff, Kundalini yoga, and I happen to be wearing white. If you know anything about Kundalini, then that's also significant. So Kundalini yoga, or any type of yoga that you're interested in getting a higher spiritual connection, is going to be clear quartz. If you work with Herkimer diamond, absolutely bring that in. I got one over here on my little shelf, and that comes from up by me. So, but this can be a little bit jarring for some people, so just ease into it, okay? And my very favorite oil, frankincense. Frankincense, absolutely, super high frequency. It is a sacred oil. It is linked to, you know, spirit guides. It's linked to angels. It's linked to all sorts of that higher up connection, and just a lovely, lovely thing. Just lovely. So bring those to a Kundalini yoga class, and I promise you, you will have an experience that you will never forget. Okay, clarity, BJ Parker says clarity. So next one up is clarity. Clarity and mental focus. I put these ones neck and neck. And so clarity, mental focus, and also clearing. Meaning, if you are somebody that tends to be empathic and you pick up other people's energies very easily, this is going to be the perfect combo for you. Or if you were just somebody that works really, really fast throughout the day, or you just got a lot going on and you just happen to just pile stuff on, and you got to clear that house out, this is going to be the combo for you. I'm going to say, for that type of clarity, go to a more rigorous yoga class, probably a vinyasa class, because you will not have time to think, and you will move. The crystal is fluorite, okay? This has negative transmutation, meaning that anything you need to get rid of, this will clear it out for you. This is a nice piece. This was gifted to me by my babysitter that babysat me when I was younger. I sometimes watch her children when they are in town, and the kids got me this. So this is like super special to me, okay? Super awesome kids. They know I like rocks. They also collect rocks. Little crystal children. The oils, peppermint, psychic protection and empathic protection, and balance. Balance, clearing all the chakras, letting go of all that stuff that you do not want. Get clarity, get clear, uncover so you can shine again, okay? Next one, what do we got? Okay, let me scroll. So we got relaxing, yes. Do you have to, Desiree says, do you have to be careful with essential oils when you're pregnant? Yes, you do. The ones that I would suggest that you are able to use is citrus is safe. These are the only ones I used during my pregnancy. Citrus and peppermint I didn't even apply on myself. If you want to be on the safe side, go with a diffuser, do a mist. Don't be putting things directly on your body, okay? What else? What was the second oil? Julie, let me know. I think it was, you were talking about coriander. Okay. Peace of mind, that will also, okay, so lessen anxiety, peace of mind. For this, you're going to want to do a grounding practice. So anything where you are mindful of your feet being on the earth, okay? So peace of mind, letting go of anxiety, that really grounding feeling. This could really be done in any, I'd say maybe a hatha or Iyengar because it's really stationary for quite a while. Smoky quartz and white fir. Any of those type of trees, absolutely put this on your feet and send the intention down into the earth to ground you so that you have that peace of mind and you let go of anxiety. Okay. Oh, what else? Mary, you got some Herkimer. Great, great, great. Focus, we did. Now the last one that I'm going to do, I think we only have one more. Absolutely, one more. Woohoo! Is energy. If you are somebody that wants energy, you're like, I can't get my butt to a yoga class because I'm too tired by the time I get home and I need that energy, bring your carnelian with you. It will give you energy. This is a great pregnancy crystal. This was given to me when I was pregnant, and my baby loved it when he was inside of me. So absolutely get a carnelian. This is like, this was gifted to me in my last yoga teacher training. So very, very special to me. And wild orange. So this is actually perfect combo for somebody who's pregnant. Okay? So, if you are looking for more energy, this is going to be the type of crystal and essential oil you're going to want because it's going to be that uplifting, that elevating, that bright citrusy smell. It's going to like get you up and moving, and you know, if you're somebody that struggles with waking up in the morning, absolutely, that's what you need. Try a vinyasa class. Try an ashtanga class. Try a Bikram class. I haven't tried a Bikram class. My friend mentioned it the other day, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sweat a lot, and I'm going to do it. So absolutely, if you're somebody that needs more energy, and you're like, I just need to move, I just need to move, I just need to flow, I need to sweat, I need to, like, get that stuff out of me. You want to be, like, you know, wrung like a, you know, I don't know, like a towel that's got water in it, and you just want to be squeezed like a lemon or something to make juice. This is what you need, okay? You probably go, and she should probably go to a Baron Baptiste retreat because he's the school of training that I'm under, but for Vinyasa yoga. So Baron Baptiste will kick your butt. I'm scared of him. That's a fact. I hope he never watches this. That'd be awkward. Okay, so I think that we, oh, thank you. I think that we went through everything that I wanted to mention tonight. What else did I have? Always, guys, always give pranayama, breath work. That is, if you just sit and are mindful and are breathing, you're doing yoga. So, absolutely, if you're somebody who you're like, I'm not ready for that step yet, start with breath work. Look on YouTube and do some 3-part breath. Look on YouTube, 3-part breath. Get a video and just be mindful. I mean, we can all do this quick. Let's all do this quick. Okay, so put your hand on your heart and put your hand on your belly. I know, I'm like, okay, now we're going to do yoga. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to take an inhale, but I want you to breathe into your belly first. So you inhale and you try to fill up your belly, and then you inhale a little bit more, and you try to fill up your chest right here, and you fill up a little bit more, and you fill up right here, and then you hold it at the top, and then you exhale from here first, right? Here, and then here in your belly. And let's do it one more time. Fill up the belly first, then your inhale, and then chest, and then really upper chest, and then hold, and then right here, in your rib cage, in your belly, and let it go. So that's 3-part breath. Any of you guys can do that, no matter what your activity level. If you can do that breath, you are doing yoga, pranayama, life force breathing, bringing life force into your body through breath. And you're going to become more mindful when you're doing that. And mindfulness and breathing is what yoga is all about. So, with that said, I am going to let you guys go for the night because I always run over somehow. Because I really like talking to you guys. But if you are interested in my yoga course that is coming up, Crystal Yoga, or you're a yoga teacher that wants to get certification or extra, Yoga Alliance hours, absolutely check out any of the links. And I know Sean's awesome, and he's posting a bunch of stuff in the comments for you guys to go visit. I think that's all happy Cinco de Mayo. And if you want to go to Mexico with me in October, that's happening. I will be teaching about crystals and yoga and business all together. I'll be doing some yoga teaching, like some classes, and teaching about how to bring crystals into your businesses at a retreat. So if you're interested in that, send me a message and I'll give you the info on that. And sending you guys love and light and all that good stuff as always. Thank you guys for being here for me and showing up and showing me all your hearts and your love, and you guys are just awesome. So I will see you guys soon on the next live.